Oh friends, I want to speak to you about a danger that feels familiar, even intimate. Some threats do not attack from outside. They are invited in. They are carried home carefully, even proudly, because they appear harmless, manageable, under control. The snake catcher did not fear the frozen dragon. He trusted it enough to bring it closer, and in doing so, he crossed the line between caution and arrogance. What you carry home shapes what you become. The snake catcher believed possession meant mastery. Because the dragon was bound and still, he assumed it belonged to him. He mistook proximity for power. Carrying the snake home felt like triumph. It validated his identity as conqueror, as one who had faced danger and prevailed. He did not see that by carrying it, he was also being carried by pride, by certainty, by the need to prove himself. O seekers, notice how often you invite unresolved forces into your inner home. You say, I know this weakness, I can handle it. You say, I have outgrown this desire. You say, this habit no longer controls me. And so you keep it nearby. You do not examine it closely. You trust stillness without awareness. Carrying the snake home is not recklessness. It is familiarity mistaken for safety. I learned this when I welcomed old patterns back into my life because they felt known. I believed knowledge equaled immunity. I told myself I had learned the lesson. But learning without vigilance fades quickly. What is not actively understood begins to act on its own. The snake does not need to be invited loudly. It only needs to be allowed to stay. Oh friends, the home represents the inner sanctum, where you relax, where defenses lower, where habits solidify. What you allow there shapes you quietly. Danger carried home does not strike immediately. It waits. It absorbs warmth. It regains strength unnoticed. This waiting is what makes it lethal. You stop watching because you believe the threat has passed. O seekers, familiarity dulls discernment. You no longer ask questions. You no longer listen closely. You assume continuity where change has occurred. The frozen dragon did not announce its awakening. Awakening happens silently. Power returns gradually, and by the time movement is noticed, distance has vanished. The snake catcher's error was not in encountering danger. It was in domesticating it prematurely. He wanted control without transformation. He wanted closeness without responsibility. This is how inner dangers survive. They are treated as trophies rather than teachers. They are displayed, not integrated. O beloved ones, there is a difference between carrying wisdom and carrying threat. Wisdom lightens you. Threat weighs you down, even when it appears inert. If something requires constant suppression to remain safe, it has not been resolved. True resolution does not need guarding. It becomes harmless by nature, not by force. I have seen people rebuild their lives only to reintroduce what once destroyed them out of nostalgia, out of confidence, out of the belief that time alone changes things. Time does not change what awareness avoids. Carrying the snake home invites repetition disguised as progress. Oh friends, humility keeps danger outside the inner home until transformation is complete. Humility says, I am still learning. It does not display victory prematurely. It does not trust stillness without understanding. Humility respects the power of what it faces and refuses to underestimate it. Ask yourselves what you are carrying home today. Which habits, desires, identities, or narratives you keep close because they no longer seem threatening. Ask whether they have been transformed or merely restrained. These questions are not meant to instill fear. They are meant to restore attentiveness. O seekers, integration requires heat of awareness, not warmth of comfort. The snake catcher warmed the dragon without watching it. Awareness warms without feeding danger. Comfort feeds without awareness. Know the difference. Your inner home must be a place of clarity, not complacency. The lesson here is severe but kind. Do not bring home what you have not fully understood. Do not make peace with what has only been silenced. Carrying the snake home is an act of forgetting. Forgetting that transformation is ongoing, that vigilance softens but never disappears. Oh friends, what you carry shapes your destiny. Carry insight, not assumption. Carry humility, not trophies. Let your inner home be guarded, not by fear, but by awareness. When awareness is present, nothing dangerous needs to be carried close to prove mastery. The snake catcher wanted to live with his victory. He ended up living with his undoing. Learn from this without repeating it. Leave what has not been transformed outside until it can no longer harm, whether frozen or warm. Only then is the home safe. Only then can you rest without watching the floor for movement. And only then does peace remain peace, not a pause before awakening. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episodes.